Hey loves, it's your girl DeeDee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So I am back with a quick video for you guys. This is just my 2 cents. I'm not reacting to a video or anything like that, but I want to give my 2 cents and my perspective on this topic. So when we talk about stable, successful men who have value, men who have standards, men who actually know their worth and have worked on themselves. When we talk about these types of men are typically not influenced by a woman's body, her vajayjay. These men who have control over themselves, they have value and they know their worth, and they're not out here just looking for somebody they can just sleep with and pump and dump. Men who are actually out here looking for the right things and have positioned themselves for the lifestyle and the livelihood that they want. Men who are wanting a stable family and actually wanting a wife and wanting a family and to build on their legacy and provide something stable for a wife and kids. These types of men are not fazed by a woman's body and her body parts. The thing about this is when women say they're looking for a stable, mature man, a man who is emotionally intelligent, a man who actually has something going for himself, they are looking for the men who aren't going to play games with them. The men who are not just trying to, look at their body and gawk over their looks and their bodies. These men are looking for something more stable, and to them it's not worth it to just waste your time on a woman based on her physique, on her body, how she looks, how good she looks, and just fall for that. These men are looking for much more. So when women ask for these types of men, I don't think that they're taking into consideration how these men think, how hard they've worked to achieve what they have, and how they are looking for something more valuable in a woman. When you hear women say they know their worth, they're not talking about the fact that they've worked on themselves spiritually, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. They're talking about their accomplishments most of the time. Most of the time, they're talking about their accolades, how they've worked hard to achieve a certain business, or their degrees and things of that nature. They're tying their education to their worth, and that is not the same. And so when you have that, there's a miscommunication in what men actually want versus what women are looking for. So when women talk about they want these men who are stable, good men making good money, have morals and values, and are looking for a good woman, this is why a lot of women do not measure up for these types of guys, because they think that their accolades, their degrees, their business, their jobs, them being able to take care of themselves qualifies them for the type of man who has worked on himself spiritually, mentally, all of these things, and it's not tied to just the amount of money that he makes and the type of job that he has. He's actually worked on himself, and he's gotten himself to a place to where he's prepared for a wife and a family and to build something that's real. See, a lot of these women get by, and they have been used to getting by with on their looks. If she's attractive, men like attractive women. So women have often gotten by just being pretty, by just having a good body. If she has curves and she's pretty, well, double the whammy. She looks great, she looks good, and men are attracted to that. So those types of women are used to getting attention. They're used to getting men who would go out of their way for them. They're used to certain men doing things for them that they wouldn't ordinarily do for other women because of their attraction level. They've gotten used to men going over and above and beyond for them based on their attraction level and their bodies and all of these things. But nowadays, women talk about we're in 2024 and things are different. Women are different, and so are men. So we don't have a lot of men, at least the ones that I'm hearing from. They're speaking out, and they're saying they're tired of just the aesthetic. They're not pleased only by what you look like. They're not going after just a big button smile, a cute face, that beautiful face card. They're looking beyond that. They're not intrigued by that anymore. They're not intrigued by what you look like. They're not intrigued by these big butts. because they see it all too often. It's something that's a daily thing that you can go on social media and you can see women with big butts, whether they're real or not. You can go on and see women half dressed, women half naked. You can go online and just see it all. So it's not something that's so intriguing to men anymore. It's not something that men look at and just they gawk at and be like, oh my God, I gotta have it. No, because they see a lot of it. So they're desensitized to it. It is not something that they're readily jumping for now. So what that means is the fact that women cannot please men with just their looks and their bodies means they have to bring more to the table. And this is something that a lot of women cringe to talk about. They cringe when they're being asked, what do you bring to the table? Because for so many women, they are the table, and they think that they're the table because they've been getting by their looks, their bodies, and the fact that they have a vajayjay. And that's no longer what is intriguing to men, because they know that does not qualify you as being a good woman. And these men are looking for quality women that they can bring home to their families and blend in with their families and build lives with. So being attractive and having a good body is no longer a major qualification for what men are looking for in relationships. And I think a lot of women have tainted that because they've used their looks and their bodies to get ahead. Let's just be honest. Let's just call a spade a spade. A lot of these women have heavily depended on what they look like and their bodies to get men to do things for them and take care of them and the whole nine. And so now that men are woke and men realize that that is not beneficial to them, that these women typically just use them for their finances and for the things that they can provide and not really take them seriously for long-term relationships. And most of these men would love to have a wife, would love to have a family, would love to build with the woman, but they realize that these women who are pushed out in front with these big bodies, BBLs, and all of these looks, which some of these women are attractive, they are looking beyond that because they know when they are looking for the core things that would benefit them in a relationship, a lot of these women can't provide it. A lot of these women aren't more than what you see on the surface. And it's just, they're not interested in giving more than what's on the surface. And this is why we have so many transactional relationships. The hookup culture is on 10. You have a lot of that going on because a lot of these women don't really want to give the men what it is they're looking for when it comes to serious relationships. They like the idea of being objectified by men, even though that's something that they've complained about. They put their bodies on display because they like the attention. You like for men to approach you based on what you look like, even though women say they're not doing it for men, but you still like the attraction from the men that you like. So if it's somebody that these women like, they welcome the attention and the attraction from those men. But if it's somebody that they don't like, then it's a problem. But overall, women have been used to men being attracted to them solely on what they look like. Now, men are saying, nah, we know too much now. Y'all have exposed yourselves. We want something real. We want something that's lasting. We don't want something that fades, because beauty fades. You're not going to look the same as you did in your 20s versus your 40s and 50s. Things start to change. So men know that, and the men who are seriously looking for committed, serious relationships are not falling for just a beautiful woman. And I think that's important to note, because there are women who have been used to using men solely based on that. And now that they can't do it, it's a hard time for a lot of these women. So either you have to bring something that's of value to the table, or you just continue to be single and play the field and just do, live your life and do whatever you want to do. But when it comes to the stable men and the good men that these women say they want, they're definitely going to have to level up. As women are definitely going to have to level up. Women are going to have to start bringing to the table what these men want, or you're just going to continue to be single. So we got to understand, if you're asking for a good man, then you have to be prepared to bring to the table what it is that he's looking for. Because after all, he is the one who picked. You can find a man who has 6 figures, 6 feet, all the things you want, but if you're not what he wants, then he's not going to pick you. Okay? So that's my 2 cents for the day. Make sure you guys chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know what you think of this conversation or this topic. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.